Shalom, shalom. Shalom. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right. I wanted to do a response video to a video that the elder Manat Zakba had put up last night. Okay, and it was entitled, let me just pull it up here. Prophecy is moving. Don't let vexation choke you out. Okay, and as I was listening to the video, it was a beautiful video. All right, and basically, exhorts you to keep on pushing. Okay, which is very, very important. Because he mentioned in the video that as we get closer and closer to the end, as we get closer and closer to these prophecies being fulfilled, remember, we're in the last stretch, but these demons are also in the last stretch of now. Even though it's not going to happen for the elect, they're in their last stretch of now's my only time to be able to pull this person out the truth, to be able to get this person, and take them away. So, marvel not when, different things, all right, that come into your life, vex you. Hey, you might, all of a sudden, you might not be somebody who has a temper, but all of a sudden, little things just tick you off, But we need to understand that we're now closer than ever. And it doesn't make sense, all right, for you to run all this way. It's like running a race, and you finally get to the finish line, and then you stop before the finish line. If you're going to stop, you should have stopped when the race started, right? But don't run all the way, and then when you have only a couple of steps left to go, you stop, all right? That is very stupid. So that's what it is right now. But see, what's also happening right now is the last few steps before the finish line are the hardest steps. You're tired, everything is weighed down on you, your knees are buckling, all right? But now is when you gotta, pick yourself up, all right, and keep on going, man. You're seeing the EU, as the brother, all right, the beloved brother Yashalam did a video on it, going into how the European Union is trying to come up with this this digital wallet that's also going to have your ID, your driver's license, so on and so forth. We know where this is going to. They call it a post-pandemic digital wallet. Okay, they're censoring the word, the word, dealing with that, the mob, that prophecy, they're censoring that. Okay, you're having these different cyber attacks, okay, which now you're starting to see a pattern in it. First they hit the gas, the gas pipeline, colonial pipeline. Now they're claiming that the Russians hit this JB, I forgot the name, but it's dealing with the meat factory. Okay, so things are happening. You have inflation going on, and we're really in the point of hyperinflation, as Apostle Tahar has been, all day he's just been posting videos going into that. Okay, so things are happening as the scriptures say. And so I'm going to start off with this, the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 35. And it says, "Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward." And that's what these demons will try to do. They'll try to cast away your confidence. All right? Because as the Lord told Peter, Satan have desire to sift you. Okay? They don't want people that are in the world. They already got them. They want us. But guess what? We want the reward. All right? We want the reward. All right? Let's see. Okay, this is the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. See, if there's anything in your life, all right, that you might do something in life, eventually you'll get tired of it because you do the same thing over and over again, and you might want to switch. This is not so. All right, this is different. Okay, and I'm going to read this. This is the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "And let us not be weary in well-doing." And what we're doing right now is well-doing. Whenever we go out to the highways and byways and we teach, or we do these videos, or whatever it is that you do to serve the Lord, that's well-doing. When your life and the actions you take are centered around pleasing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, you're well doing. So as we're being exhorted here in Galatians 6 and 9, it says, be not weary in well doing. Don't get tired of doing what's pleasing to the Lord. Okay? Don't let it get old. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. And that shows you that this is spiritual, because doing videos or going out to the highways and byways, it never gets old. There's only so many scriptures. You ever thought about that? How is it that brothers, elders are able to, whether you out there or you're doing a video, we basically talk about the same things over and over and over again, but we don't say the same thing. We bring out the same precepts, but each time you hear a video is new. There's always something new to it. It might be the same precepts, but it's just new, and it's edifying. It's not the same food over and over and over again. Okay, although we talk about the same prophecies, and that's the spirit, because this never gets old. It doesn't get old. You don't get up, if you're in the right spirit, you don't get up and say, oh, doing videos is old. I don't want to do that no more. When you feel that way, that means the Lord has taken that Holy Spirit away from you, man. Okay? So as it says here, Galatians 6 and 9, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. If you plant, but you're not patient enough till the harvest, and you faint, you put in all that work, you planted, you watered, you did all of that, but you're not able to reap the benefits. Okay? And what did Yahweh say? And that's the reason the Lord gives us gave us the knowledge and the spirit, okay, to exhort one another daily. Because, hey, you might constantly be exhorting others, but there might come times when you need exhortation. And that's why there's a whole body. And the Lord puts a spirit on each brother and each elder to go into a certain topic at a certain time, because it's for whoever the Lord wants to see it. Dealing with whatever it is. And that's why oftentimes you'll come on YouTube or whatnot, and you'll be scrolling through and you'll just see that one video that's just right for you. You see that one video that's just it just covers everything you needed to hear to keep you going, to help you get back up. See, when the scriptures say a righteous man falleth, 7 times but gets back up, the way you're, the Lord gives you a helping hand to get back up via these videos that we do. And that's why it's important for us to continue to do these videos. Because you might say, well, what about those that have already woken up? Yeah, well, you wake up, but you have to be exhorted. You have to be built up. You have to continue to grow. Okay? If you feed somebody, right? When people eat and they get full, just because somebody is full doesn't mean they'll never eat again. And it doesn't matter how full they are. There's going to come a point where they're going to need that food again. Okay? So the food needs to be there. And being that we have been appointed, okay, to be those who are feeding the sheep are always going to come back. They're going to eat and they're going to come back. And they're going to eat and they're going to come back. Okay? So we got to keep on feeding them. We got to keep them built up, keep them exhorted, all right, and keep them going. Okay? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 12. And the Lord said, and behold, I come quickly. Okay, so don't lose your patience, and your patience possesses your souls. It's going to get vexing, all right, but it only means we're closer, man. Look around you. Look at what's going on. There's only going to be so many things that look like it's finally it, but then it turns out that it's not. There's only going to be so many of those before it finally actually hits. And we've already gone through a lot of different prophetic pump fakes, and each time it gets closer and closer. Okay? Each time is worse than the first. So even though what started the thing that started in 2019 throughout 2020, even though that might not have been what brought on the full onslaught of Jacob's trouble, guess what? It pushed us a step forward towards what's actually going to bring that Jacob's trouble. Okay? So as the Lord said here, Revelation 22 and 12, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. That's the point right there. The Lord is going to judge you according as your work shall be. So if he comes and you, oh Lord, I was doing the works for 10 years and then I stopped, then that's it. Okay? What do you mean you stopped? Did your elders stop? Did your brothers stop? So what gave you a pass to stop? You know, oh Lord, I was getting vexed left and right. I was getting hit with this, that, and the third. Okay, were they not going through the same thing? See, you got to remember that as well. Yeah, we go through things in life, but everybody's going through things. You know? Everybody's going through things, but yet brothers are constantly, you know, daily exhorting, daily doing the work. And when you see that, that should motivate you. Because you don't know what the next brother might be going through when they off camera. You don't know what demons are bothering them or what trials they're facing. But yet they come back and they do the lesson, edifying, boom, and then they take care of what they got to take care of. You know? So that in your mind, you know, yeah, we go through things, but we got to remember, we're not the only ones going through things, you know? And if the next brother's able to go through whatever he's going through and still come and do the work of the Lord, we don't have an excuse. If our elders are able to go through what they went through and what they still go through for all those years, 30 plus years, and however long it is, you know, even if it's 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 15 years, 9 years, that's a long time, you know, of living against this world. And yet every day, every other day, however it is, doing videos. I mean, that's a long time. There's 365 days on average in a year. You know, sometimes you might do more videos in a day. You might do more than one. Sometimes you might do one. Sometimes you might miss a day. But you're doing around that, you know, if you're going maybe one video a day, you're doing around 365 a year. Okay? So constantly doing the work of the Lord, man, that, hey, if you look at that, you got to pick yourself back up, you know? So the Lord said he's going to reward every man according as his work shall be. And we know that what? A reward is coming, okay? And we don't want to miss out on that reward. As a matter of fact, let's read this, verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the last. And you ever seen those memes where it shows a picture that says never give up, and you basically have this dude with the axe, and he's mining. I think that's what it's called. But you know, they cutting, digging, whatever, you know, going through, and then the picture shows he's turned around, he gave up. And when you look at the further picture, you see the diamonds and the gold and everything was literally one swing away. All right, but he gave up. And what's going to happen is you're going to feel like, oh, the Lord is taking so long. Oh, the Lord ain't coming back anytime soon. And that very moment when you give up and you turn around and when you step your ass into the world, boom, you know, the Lord does something, you know? And it's like, yo, if and that's that painful regret. If I had just stayed diligent for one more day, one more week, one more month, you know, and not giving up, I would have been fine. But because of that, you know, as those say in the world, $1 million decision, you know, you turned your back on the Lord, guess what? You know, you missed out on everything. If you put in 10 years, that's 10 years gone. The 10 years, it was good. It might have woken up members of the elect. It might have built up brothers. But for you, it didn't do you any good. Because the second you turn your back on the Lord and you give up, you're forfeiting your paycheck. And that's that. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing the work of the Lord. If you turn your back on the plow, you turn your back on the Lord, you stop doing the work of the Lord, doesn't matter for what reason it is, guess what? You're done. You forfeited your spot. You forfeited all of that. Okay? So that's 13 years, 15 years, however long down the drain. Is that something you all that time that you're never going to get back? If you're already in it, do it. You know, as that saying, if you know, you're already in pain, so get something from it. All right? Revelation 22:14. And Shalom, Shalom. Blessed are they that do his commandments. All right? And doing the work is also a commandment. We were commanded to do this work. Okay? It says that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. We're not going to try to come up another way. No. The Lord's gonna allow us to go in through the gates, man. Okay? That's if you do the Lord's commandment and you stay diligent on to the end. All right? That's the key part, man. Okay, so, hey, look, we're not saying it's easy. The point ain't that it's easy. Being a servant of the Lord is not easy. That's not the point. But regardless of how hard it is, it's still doable. Okay? It's doable. And it's your reasonable service. Okay? So really the Lord is sweetening up the pot by giving us a reward, but it's really our reasonable service. We have to do this. Okay? Now let's go to the book of Revelation, because here it is. We got the greatest reward coming for us. All right? Point blank, period. There's no greater reward than what's coming to the Lord's elect. Absolutely none. Nothing tops it. Nothing. The reward coming to the elect is the greatest reward that can ever be considered a reward. I mean, it's so great that, as the Lord said, nobody has ever thought about it or seen it or even imagined anything close to it. That's how great the reward is, because it's coming from the Heavenly Father, Bahashem Yahushai. All right, the Creator Himself. So, and we've been given an opportunity. When they in certain contests, they'll have only a limited amount of people that are actually able to participate to even have a chance at winning. Well, guess what? We are those people that were given a chance to participate. There's people out there that didn't even get the chance to participate. The scriptures say many are called, but few are chosen. But many are called, not all. So there's some that weren't even called. So if you've been blessed enough to be called and have a potential chance of being chosen, then you better, if you need to go reread 2 Peter 1 and 10 again, all right, to give all diligence to make your calling and election sure, hey, go do that. Because this is coming. The reward is coming regardless. Whether you dare to receive it or not, it's going to come. Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. So if you've been serving the Lord, man, you've been diligent to the Lord, wait for your paycheck. Okay? Wait for your paycheck, man. What idiot is going to leave without getting paid? You do all that work, and then Friday that you're supposed to get paid, you going to quit? Come on, man. It had been better if you never worked at all. I don't know about you, but if I did 2 weeks worth of work, I'm Friday, I'm in the HR office. I'm waiting. So when, considering this truth, man, you put in whatever amount of work you put in, wait for the paycheck, man. It's going to be a penny. We all going to get that penny. And especially for us who came in later, you had those that have been working since the first, and then you got the 11th hour, you got those that came in between, So consider that. Of course, there's going to be bonuses here and there, but the main goal is that penny. And you're going to get that same penny as somebody that's been laboring for how many more years more than you, So, I mean, that's good shit, take that. All right. Revelation 11 and 18, it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. All right, so the prophets are going to get rewarded. And to the saints, all right, the elect. The saints are Israel, but it's going to start with the elect. All right, which the prophets are part of the elect, but the rest of the elect. It says, and them that fear thy name, small and great, a.k.a. the elect, and shouldest destroy them that destroy the earth. Okay? You're going to get to witness all of that, man. Personally, man, if you're of Israel, if you're of the nation of Israel, you're going to come back in the kingdom regardless, But to be born, you come back and it's basically you missed out, as if you're in a movie theater watching a movie and you go to the bathroom right at the climax of the movie and you miss out on everything. And you come back and then you're being told, hey, oh, this is what happened. You're gonna come back to the movie and you're gonna see the aftermath, and then what happened, yo? And then when you left, such and such did this and they did that, and as they're describing it, you're gonna wish that you could have been there to see it and experience it. And that's what it's gonna be like. You're gonna be born in the kingdom, but you're not gonna get that experience of the transition of being a part of the servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, being delivered, all right, being with the Lord, being crowned, being rewarded, actually having your body changed. Not being born with a new body, but having your body changed. You know, those original set of new bodies, okay? The experience of coming down and subjecting the world under your house, that's something that if you miss, you miss. If you're born into the kingdom, you're never going to get that experience. You know, that's like that, the founding fathers type experience, you know? And this is going to be for all eternity. So whenever, you know, you get into that spirit, you get vexed or you feel down or you feel like things are tarrying and dragging, hey, meditate on, you know, why you're in this. You know, meditate on the fact that, Lord willing, you get delivered, but the blessings and the gifts that come after. Because you can never meditate enough on the kingdom. All right. But as you're meditating on the kingdom, you're like, yo, that's so great. You remember what Paul said here. Let's go to it. I believe is it Romans 8? Let's see. All right, as you meditate on the kingdom and the things that, you know, that even the little tiny insights that we get into the kingdom, as you meditate on that, you're like, damn, that's a lot, you know, and then you realize that whatever you're imagining doesn't even come close. You're like, man, whatever's there, I want to be there, man. Whatever's there, I want to see that, and I want to be a part of that. Okay, so this is Romans 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared, all right, with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Okay, you hear that? The sufferings, whatever you're going through now. Paul, look, man, Paul saw the spirit world. Okay, Paul saw the spirit world. So if anything, he saw things that he couldn't even explain. All right, and so he could probably imagine something that we can't even imagine. But even he said, look, whatever you're going through, and when we read what Paul went through a lot, man. Man got bit by a whole snake, got beaten, shipwrecked, starved. I mean, all of these things Paul went through, was blind, you know, went through all these things. And he said, look, and then he knew he was going to be put to death. And then Paul had a hard life. Imagine your life now compared to having to live as Paul and what he had to go through. Traveling, you think traveling from traveling from Jerusalem or Damascus all the way to Athens is easy? You think that's what I'm gonna jump on the 4 train, buy a Metro card, jump on the 4 train, just chill on the train. The train got AC if it's in the summer, or it got a heater if it's in the winter. And I'm just chilling in here. I got some food. I'm chilling. You know, I make it over to 161 or whatever. No, that's not how traveling was in the ancient world. Things were dangerous. People would try to rob you. Wild animals were there. If you crossing from one land to another via water, all right, you could get this. Your ship could get destroyed. You could get shipped. All of these things, you know, you're going through, and Paul was doing that. So for him to say that, he's like, I'm telling you that whatever you're suffering, and I've suffered through a lot, but whatever you're suffering is not going to be compared. It's not. Think about this statement for a second. It's not going to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us. Not that it pales in comparison to, or if you compare it, it's very, very small. No, he said you can't even compare it. Think about that for a second. Something so vast, like there's such a giant difference between the two that you cannot compare them. Now, is there anything in your mind that you think of that you can't compare? Yes, you can most certainly you could compare a grain of sand to a freaking planet. No matter how big the difference is between the two, you can compare them. So how big or glorious does the kingdom have to be that whatever we're going through now is, you can't even compare it to that? Well, it doesn't even matter how much you think of it. You ain't never going to be able to imagine what the kingdom is actually going to look like. And you can imagine whatever your most wildest fantasies, and you get to the kingdom and find out that, yo, my mind ain't have nothing on this, man. And sometimes you meditate on things that make you so happy. You're like, damn, if I could live this kind of life, hell yeah, shit, I'd be happy as hell. You know? But you're going to get to the kingdom and realize you're only able to imagine things you've been exposed to. And in this generation, we've been exposed to the worst, the basis of things. The earth is in the basest condition. The most beautiful place you could think of right now is the lowest of beauty. The most happiest thing you could think of to do right now is the saddest of happiness. The most delicious food, all right, that you can think of eating right now is the I don't even know, the worst tasting food compared to what deliciousness actually is. And we don't know this because this is all we're exposed to right now. So imagine that, man. Okay. Now let's see. I know brothers was putting some precepts on here. Nice. Oh, and also the Lord, and even better, the Lord said what? That it is His good pleasure. All right, it is His good pleasure to give us the kingdom. Can you really think about that, man? It's the Lord's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. Oh man, oh man, what does that even look like? What does that even look like? This is Nedebiah is thankful. Let's see, Psalms 37 and 34. Wait on the Lord and keep His way. See, there's a reason the Lord told us to wait. The Lord knows what we go through. He knows everything that we go through daily, man. The Lord knows. Look, man, you could be on the verge of losing it. You could just be on the verge of like, yo, Lord, when? Like, yo, this is, I can't take this anymore. Like, this is too much. And He knows that. But yet He still says wait. And He says that wait is gonna be well worth it. And we gotta trust the Lord, man. We gotta trust the Lord that even if you have to die, even if whatever you have to go through, it's gonna be worth it. So it says, wait on the Lord and keep His way, and He shall exalt thee to inherit the land. And hey, man, and when the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. Now, which one of us inherits land? You know what I'm saying? Like, you man, maybe you got an apartment or a house or maybe, whatever it is, but come on, really think about, what do we actually own? Like, what do we actually own right now? We don't really own things. You might have a car, but come on, that's basic little things here and there. If you look at the things we ought to have compared to what we do have right now, we don't have shit. We're slaves, man. We're slaves. It doesn't matter what you have, how well off you're living. You don't have shit. Because if you don't have a constant source of income, eventually your money's going to disappear. We don't have anything here, man. Everything we have here has been given to us. We had to, you want a license, you got to go to the DMV. You got to go wherever it is, you got to go and get it from, as the scriptures say, we're going to go to the enemy for the one of all things. Whose father came to him and said, yo, you see this whole land right here, like half of Texas, this is all yours. I'm leaving this for you. With the all the cattle and all. Where? Son, you see this bill right here? I'm leaving this for you. That's what you're going to see. Man, look, man, we don't have anything over here, man. All right. But the Lord said what? That's all going to change, man. That's right. This is Lacha'ama Ha-Chata, John 14 and 2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. And we know that the Lord is referring to these other planets. Because think about it. When you look at, and I mentioned this before, when you look at the different planets and you look at the different galaxies, Milky Way, solar systems, and it just keeps getting larger and larger and larger. And in each of them, there's there's things we don't even know that exist. There's things that we don't even know. If we saw it, we wouldn't even know what the hell it was, how to even describe it. There's certain planets that our brains right now can't even fathom what the hell is that. How do you even begin to live on a planet like that? And the Lord said there are many mansions, okay? And we're going to get to, because, sometimes you sit down and you think like, is this really life? We're created, right? We're born, we live, and we die. Now, is this really it? Were we really created? How are we God's chosen people when we're created to, you're born, you go to school, then work, right? Work, then what? You retire, and then whatever 401k or whatever BS they give you, your body's all broken down, you old as shit, you can't even, you can't do shit, you know, you paying rent or you got student loans and all this stupid ass stress. And you think about it, is this really how the Lord created us to live? How do you make a statement like this? All right, let's see. Let's get this real quick. How do you make a statement like this in the book of, once this loads, as Satan is trying to mess with it, which I'll just quote it in Psalms 82:6, that we are gods. We're gods, right? But then look at how we're living. What God what God is living the way we live in? We're gods with no power. We don't have no power, man. Everything we have to, it's like beg for everything. You got to get a job. When you go to the interview, you got to speak a certain kind of way, this, that, and the third. Oh, man. You think about all these things. You're like, man, what the hell? What the hell is it? Is this really life? Is this really what we got to live? You mean to tell me, Lord, you created us, and in the past, look at what we were doing. King David's time, King Solomon's time, that was us, right? The prophets having spiritual power. The Messiah came from our lineage, and we out here freaking flipping burgers at McDonald's and, sitting at desks doing files and having to answer to people. Hey, make sure you get this done. All right, and then you go and do it. What the hell is that? You got to think about, what the hell is that? And I'm created to live like this? What, I'm going to have kids and they going to live like this and I'm going to die and then just, what the hell? That's not life, man. That ain't living. We surviving. Everything you do in this society is to survive. You're paying your rent so you don't go homeless. You buying, everything is just survival. At what point do you really have joy that lasts? You may have temporal relief, but in the back of your mind, even while you in that temporal relief, you thinking of when it ends. Oh shit, I gotta go back to work Monday, or oh, I gotta go back and do whatever it is, man. That's not life, man. That's not living, man. The Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is gonna take us out of this condition. We're gonna get to experience what life is. We're gonna get to go to the bottom of the ocean and not have no breathing whatever thing on. We're gonna get to see what's in there. We're gonna get to go out of space. We're gonna get to fly, teleport, eat good food, smell good air. The earth is gonna look different. Read minds, speak the actual Hebrew. We're going to be able to do anything we want to do. You want to go to another planet, you go to another planet. So find out what it's like. We're going to have chariots. Think about it. Like, damn. That's luxury. That's actual power, man. So you got to remember these things, man. Whatever it is, whatever kind of life you're living now, in a matter of, hey, Lord willing, this year, next year, whenever the Lord, delivers us, that's all going to change. All right, so back to this precept, Lachama Hakata, John 14:2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. So why the hell would the Lord create all these planets? Nobody's on them, and we on Earth struggling. Does that make sense? The Most High says that He hates Esau, and He loves us, but yet Esau's above us, and we struggling, getting gunned down by cops in the streets. Our people starving, diseased, all these things. Come on, man. That sign ain't right. Verse 3 says, and if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. So the Lord said He going to come back and get us. All right. That where I am, ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know. And the way ye know. And you got to remember, the apostles, like, think about how the apostles must have felt. We read about what they said, but think about how they must have felt when they asked the Lord, when He came back, oh Lord, is it now? Are you now going to restore the kingdom? He said, nah, nah, fam. And then they're seeing Him go back up into a chariot. And He says, when I come back again, He's like, again? When you come, when is that going to be? And so they're doing what they're doing. Is it going to be in this lifetime? What lifetime is it going to, like, what, 2,000 years ago? Thousands of years, and we are finally at that time. Time is up. The Lord's the time that the Lord promised the apostles back then, that time is now. The reward, the time of reward, that's now. We're finally here. We don't remember exactly who we were, but we know, hey, look, we here. The Lord made a promise. We in that time, and we here to see the promise. All right. This is Yasharal the Chosen 144K Shalom. Isaiah 66:1. Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Oh my goodness. It says, where is the house that ye built unto me? And where is the place of my rest? For all those things hath mine hand made, and all those things have been, saith the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. Now keep in mind, I'm gonna put this in perspective, right? The Lord said the earth is his footstool. Okay? The earth is his footstool. And then Yahushua says the Lord has many mansions. Now, what is a footstool in a mansion? You can go to, if somebody owns a mansion, you can go into their house and never see their footstool ever. It could be in under the kitchen table somewhere or whatever, tucked away behind the fridge or something. You would never even, that's how insignificant, all right, a footstool is in comparison to other things in the house, to the house itself, right? So if the planet that we're living on, this planet, in its basest form, you look at certain places, certain tropical areas, and you look at it, you're like, damn, the earth is beautiful. But mind you, the earth is beautiful in its defiled state. There's certain places you may look at and you be like, damn, man, hey, the Most High is great, man. Look at the nature and everything. And this is the earth in its defiled state. This is the footstool that's broken up and, wobbly and shit. The nails are all coming out. That's what the earth is right now. So imagine when the Lord renews the earth and it becomes like actual beauty. And it's still going to be likened onto a footstool. So then you think, what is really out there? Like, what's really good? What's really out there that the Lord has for us? Because if this is a footstool and he's about to give us a nice tour of the mansion, of one mansion among many, goodness gracious. Yeah, like the brother said, unlimited discovering for the elect. And that's why we're going to need to be immortal. Because even being immortal would not be enough time to search out the things of the Lord. Actually, I think there's a precept on that. Let's see. All right. Yep, this is Romans 11:33. Okay, it says, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. So we're going to have all eternity. And the Lord said he stretcheth the heavens like a curtain. What? He stretcheth the heavens like a curtain. And here it is. We're figuring things out. You may look at a stone and you may look at a stone differently, because now you know that a stone is not just for throwing. You could do so much with it. Just the understanding that the Lord is, even the knowledge the Lord is going to give us alone. On day one, imagine the things when the Lord changes your body, instantly the things you're going to know. You're not going to need to like pick up a book and then read it. And no, we're going to know things beyond basic human knowledge. Everything that we know now is just based on with the, when you put the scriptures aside and you look at man's wisdom, it's on a low level. It's on a super low level, man. We're going to know things above that. Man right now does not know fully how the elements work. They don't know how to manipulate the elements like we will know. They can't do what Yahushua did. And Yahushua came in the body of a man. He was able to command the winds, the oceans, command people's spirits to come back into them, put together the elements and make some. How do you freshen up a decomposing body? And make it so habitable that the spirit can come back into it. And even if you were able to freshen up the body, how are you able to call down the spirit back into a body? This is the kind of power that the Lord had. And he gave it to his disciples. Peter was able to bring back somebody from the dead. And Peter was a man. So now what level you think we're going to be on when we're made gods, man? That's going to be some, hey. Anyway, as it says here in Romans 11:33, that the Most High's ways are past finding out. So when Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai says that there's a kingdom coming for us, something that it says flesh and blood cannot inherit, this kingdom is so great that we got to be made gods in order to inherit this kingdom. You know this is great. And then at that point, you're like, yo, whatever I'm going through now, man, throw that shit somewhere, man. Throw that. I got things to do, man. You know, because that kingdom, man, that's why you got to be kingdom minded. You know, the brother, I know his channel now is, I think, is a GMS Give and Go, but I think he has another channel called Kingdom Minded, and that's what you got to be. You know, you have to be kingdom minded. Guard your head. Put that shield, that helmet of salvation on, where all you're thinking about is getting there. And what does that do? It blocks out anything, any, you know, thoughts of temptation or vexation out. You know, it blocks it out. So lastly, I want to go here to the book of Revelation 21. Okay, starting at the first verse. All right, and it says here, Revelation 21:1, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Yeah, that's right, GMS Kingdom Minded Ba. I forgot the brother's name, his actual name. Salakia, forgive me for that, you know, but definitely a beloved brother, you know. So it says here, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Now, there's not going to be a new planet, Earth. It's going to be the same planet, but it's going to be refreshed and rejuvenated to the point where it looks like a brand new planet. Okay, a brand new planet. It says the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Ayash Amath, Khan, the water. Yep. Verse 2, it says, And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven. And that's the elect. Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Now, when a bride is adorned for her husband, that day, they make sure she looks the most beautiful she's ever looked. She looks top notch, like she looks perfect, right? For her husband. So, meaning that when the elect come down from them ships, low willing we of that number, we're going to be perfect. We're going to have new bodies, but it's going to be perfect. Your fingernails are going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Your eyeballs, your eyelashes, everything is going to be perfect because we're going to be like a bride that's adorned for her husband.